Someone said, did Obama create the Muslim invasion of Europe by allowing ISIS to grow? Well, it's kind of a loaded question, but I don't know if it was intentional or unintentional, but the Obama administration, definitely more than any administration ever, and there were some pretty bad administrations, they destroyed Libya, they ruined Syria, they started a war where they were essentially funding both sides of the war, creating mass chaos, and it led to absolutely the decline of Europe in a sense. And I'm not saying it's terrible, but combined with, you know, leftist policies and ideologies, I think, yeah, Europe definitely, Obama did help cause that. I just don't know if he intentionally did that or mistakenly did that. But to be honest, I would not be the least bit surprised if purposely, because at a certain point, it's hard for you to believe that these people are by a mistake doing this stuff. But in his defense, in other people's defense, it's very complex. These problems are very, very complex. Even in Syria, it's not that simple. Although I think the first step of it is pretty simple, which is don't fund terrorists, don't fund people who fight with terrorists, don't fund extremists, don't fund two sides of the war. Regardless of people, if they want to stay or go left or right, I think everybody needs to understand these regime change wars are absolutely insane, and that definitely is the first step. And then you could decide whether we should pull out or stay in, but we definitely should not be spending billions of taxpayer dollars to fund terrorists and fund rebel groups who have destroyed Libya and absolutely messed up Syria. What's Canada's role in this mess? I have no idea, but I do know I watched videos of Justin Trudeau boxing, and I posted them on my Instagram page at Dream Rare. It was hilarious. He's not a good boxer, but he did win a fight. It was against another politician. Justin Trudeau. I'm sorry, I always say his name wrong. Justin Trudeau. He's got funny boxing videos. That's all I know. Do you believe Democrats and Republicans are both controlled by the same powerful group? It depends what powerful group you're talking about. I think the Federal Reserve, which Trump is questioning, should be questioned. You have a bank that basically like can change the whole economy like that has nobody votes on, or you know, it seems pretty sketchy. But if you notice, the reason I like Trump so much is because I think I think they were both controlled for a long time, and I think it's really hard. I know it's really hard. See, I don't really have that much ego or pride, so it's easy for me to admit the truth. I think a lot of leftists and a lot of progressives know that Trump's the real deal, but they don't want to admit it because they've always been a left, fanboy or girl. So it's hard for them to be like, "Wow, the revolution came through the right." You don't want to admit that. If you grew up a progressive and a hippie, it's hard for a lot of people to admit that the revolution came through the right. I didn't think it was going to come through the right. I thought the revolution would definitely come through the left. But when it came through the right, you see how quickly I don't have this. Like, I can't lie to myself and lie to people. So I think it was for a long time. But what Trump is doing to the Republican Party, Trump is a revolutionary. Trump forever changed the game. He is going against the military-industrial complex's plans. He's going against the Federal Reserve. Have you ever seen a president tweet at the Federal Reserve saying they're like a golfer with no putt, they have no touch? He is the truth. And I'm not gonna lie. I will forgive, but I will never forget all of the progressives, and I don't want to be mean, but all of the cowardly progressives who know that he's doing this, who know that he's going against the military-industrial complex, and who still refuse to stand by his side in a time of trial because they were stubborn, egotistical leftists who don't want to admit the revolution came through the right. So it's a totally new ball game. Trump is freeing up. He's making conservative media smarter. He's making the Republican Party way better. He's changing. He's giving credence to people like Rand Paul, who have long time deserved it. He's giving promotion to him. I mean, this guy is the real deal. It's not the saying now the two-party system, it's the same, is a lie. I could sit here and lie and tell people, oh my God, it's the same wing of the same bird. It was for a very long time. And to a certain extent, yeah, there's certain things that maybe they both won't touch, but to try to say that it's the same as it was as Bush or Mitt Romney or McCain or Clinton or Bush, you know, is a total lie. And I don't understand why people are lying to themselves. If it's ego, if it's pride, if they really don't know, I'm starting to think people are just cowardly, maybe a little bit. I don't know. But it's not the same anymore. Trump changed the game. And the thing is, I don't know, besides maybe like a Rand Paul, I don't know if anyone else will do this. So it's not like we have a lot of options. Like, oh yeah, it's going to be everyone in the Republican. No, it's Trump. Like the Republican Party, yeah, it's cool, lower taxes, like great. But like Trump is totally changing the game. Like no one is like him. He's not who people thought he was. He continuously just executes and executes and executes and executes. It's like he's realer than the real deal. I mean, he's not doing that to the Federal Reserve. He's not getting us out of Syria. He's not going to get our troops out. It's like, dude, he did everything they said he wouldn't do. And it's like, you give this guy 8 years, he'll change the whole world. I love it. So it's not the same anymore. And while I try to be peaceful, I detest people that know that on the left, but pledge allegiance to leftist policies over this blatant, clear reality. I will never forget that they did that. And that's not a threat, or I'm just saying I'll forgive, but I won't forget. It shows a lot about who people really are. And, you know, I admire trustworthiness, I admire courage, I admire truthfulness, and I detest people who knowingly push the opposite.